Hey everybody, Mrs. Bianchi. We're looking at number 2. Saul makes trail mix with peanuts, raisins, and pretzels. The ratio of cups of raisins to cups of peanuts is 1 to 6. The ratio of cups of pretzels to cups of raisins is 3 to 1. Select all of the true statements listed below. And they give us these 4 statements, and we have to read them and analyze them and interpret them. So that makes this question, in my opinion, very difficult. So what's a good strategy? Might be a good idea to just list out what's everything that we're dealing with in this trail mix. So they mention peanuts, they mention raisins, and they mention pretzels. All right. So I'm going to leave this open, and I'm hoping that many of you already know what I'm going to put there shortly. I'm hoping you can anticipate. But let's look at the numbers. It says the ratio of cups of raisins, so raisins to cups of peanuts is 1 to 6. So 1 has to be the raisin number. Let's put that here. And 6 has to be the peanut number. Why? Because they list this first and they list this first. They list peanuts after the word 2. They list 6 after the word 2. So it's a 1 to 6. So, I put that in the wrong spot. My bad. That goes in peanuts, right? Because it's a 1 to 6, right? 1 raisin, 6 peanuts. All right, so let's look at the other part of this. The ratio of cups of pretzels. So pretzels to cups of raisins. So that's pretzels to raisins. Pretzels is 3, and raisins is 1. So thankfully we already had the 1 there, so everything's all good. All right, so now it's probably a good idea to figure out what's the total that we have in terms of cups, total cups of mix. So we'll call this mix total. And how do we get that number? We add these numbers together. So we have 6 plus 1 is 7, plus this would make what? So add it up, we get 10. 10 cups of mix. All right, so now let's interpret what we have here on the page. Let's see if this is true. So Saul uses 6 times as many cups of peanuts as cups of raisins. So that what he's saying is that we take the raisin number and multiply that by 6. And does that give us this number? So let's say you're saying, yeah, you know what, that's true. Then you're going to put a checkbox there because that would be considered a true statement. If you're saying that this number times 6 is not that number, then that's going to be a false statement. So again, let's read it again to make sure we didn't do it backwards. Saul used 6 times as many cups of peanuts as cups of raisins. So that means that this would be the bigger number, right, than this number. All right, so let's look at the next statement. Saul uses 3 times as many cups of raisins as cups of pretzels. So let's take a look at that pretzel number and ask ourselves, if we were to take that number and multiply it by 3 times would suggest times 3, and then ask ourselves, does that give us the raisin number? 3 times as many cups of raisins as cups of pretzels. Is that true? Does this times this equal that blue number? All right, let's look at the next statement. The ratio of cups of peanuts to cups of pretzels is 3 to 6. So peanuts to pretzels, let's clone this, peanuts to pretzels, they're saying, is that a 3 to 6 value? So what do we have for peanuts? We have 6. What do we have for pretzels? We have 3. Are these two things equal? Is a 3 to 6 ratio equal to a 6 to 3 ratio? Ask yourself, would the cross products match? If I wrote this instead as a 3 to 6, for peanuts to pretzels, and a 6 to 3, are the cross products going to match? Does this times this equal this times this? All right, so let's look at the next statement. Saul uses 2 times as many cups of peanuts as cups of pretzels. So what that's saying is take your pretzel number. 2 times means times 2. You're going to take that pretzel number, multiply it by 2, and we're going to check to see if that number gives us the peanut number. Does this times this equal that blue number right there? True or false, right? Because if it's true, then you're going to check that box. All right, so this is really more of an exercise in reading things carefully and understanding what 3 times means, what 2 times means, understanding, how to set things up and organizing your work. So if you're still confused, make sure you have everything that you see here written on your piece of paper and perhaps play the video again.